Hello, my name is Esther Onema, and welcome to my series of Salesforce developer tutorials. So today I'm going to be showing you guys how to create a visual force page using a standard controller, and stay tuned for my part two using a extension of a controller. So let's start here. New. Visual force page, and let's give our page a name. Let's make this fun and trendy. So I'm a huge fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, so I'm going to relate it somehow to that. Let's see, what can I name it? Bender Hotline. So, of course, this auto creates itself because what are we working with? A visual force page. But an important thing to implement is the standard controller. So, what is a standard controller? If we look up here over here, these are basically the objects that Salesforce has already provided us with. I did not create any of these objects. Maybe I created that one. I can't remember. But I know for sure a standard object in Salesforce would be cases, accounts, contacts. Those are for sure. So because they are for sure, they can be found and referenced under the standard controller. And today we're going to be working with the case object. So, Apex form is another very important thing. You cannot make a visual force page without using this tag right here, because everything within it just needs to happen. Like, you cannot make a sandwich without bread. Your form is your bread. So yeah, like any method or action that you would call that needs to be referenced by the standard controller, if this is not included, your code would just throw a bunch of errors. So just keep that rule of thumb. Always include the Apex form right after your page. Or sometimes you may implement CSS and other things, but that's later down the road. So to keep things clean, I usually say Apex page block. I'm a very lazy programmer, so I have to type this out. Okay. And then within that, we need an Apex page block section. And usually within the page block, I would like to give it a title because it looks cool and it looks clean. It looks like I know what I'm doing. And I would say case. If we save that, let's just take a look with what we're working with right now. Bam. So I actually put it in the wrong place. So let's actually change that to, what would I like to name this? It should save, and that should update. So there. And then within the page block section, I will call it Bender information. And you'll see how that updates as well. Ta-da! Yeah, the preview button is going to be your best friend when developing code. So now we actually need information within our visual force page. Because this is going to be a case, somebody's obviously going to be asking for help of some sort. So we need to request information from the user. How are we going to do that? fields. So we're going to say first, apex input. Yes, all right. And the value is going to be what? So this exclamation point right here is pretty important because that is how I'm telling my standard controller to do things. Those things specifically, such as save the information that the user is putting in this input field. So it's always going to be the first half of this is always going to be the name of your object. In this case, it is the case. What follows afterwards is what specific information are you asking your user to input? So we're going to go over to the case object itself, view fields. And here's just a list of fields currently in your org under the case object that you can get from your user. One very important thing for me is the name. Like, which vendor would we be talking about? So I just put the API name right there. Important. When you're developing your code, the name of the field is going to be what is found under field name, not field label. Sometimes it could be a completely different thing, but this is what matters in your code, the field name, which is why I put the supplied name. So if we save that, we can just see, pressing preview, how that would look. And there we go. The web name appears right there. Also, let's add some other fields because we want more information from the vendors. So let's just take some fields we might want. Supplied email. Also, we can take the, do we need a phone number? Nah. We could take the subject. It's pretty cool. Description. I'm not sure if I really want to use the rest of these fields, though. Yeah, I guess that's pretty good. I'll just get rid of the remaining two. It's bugging me. Yes, I'm one of those programmers. And save, and let's just take a look at what our page looks like. Ta-da! But these names are boring. Let's just say, like, these labels are boring. What if I want to relabel these labels? Salesforce allows us to do that. So you could say label for this. For the supplied name, given name, because it sounds fancier, and we are fancy people of a high breed. This label would be supplied email, email. Subject. Yeah, actually, that seems as good as it is right there. And description. Because we are in with it with the kids, we'll say that the description is, what is your problem? All right, and let's press preview. Dope. That, whatever. So now we're ready to enter our information. So what is my name? My name is Aang. My email address is airbender at air.com, and my subject is find Appa. What is my problem? I cannot find my flying bison. All right, now let's oh crap, we don't have a submit button. Have no fear. Salesforce makes it super easy to implement one. So we're going to have to go outside of our page block section and within our page block itself. Let's say Apex. Page block buttons. And then Apex. Command button. And action. Oops. What do we want this button to do? We want it to exclamation point save our information. So then the value is going to, whoops, there's no quotes there. It probably would have been easier for me to just add the quotes, but we always need a value as well. It's the same as the action. Actually, no, these actually don't need to be the same, I believe. The value is just the text on top of the button. So I could name that submit. Saving. Now let's preview our page again. Probably all my information's gone. That is fine. No. Ang. Avatar. So now, whoa, did not realize that. We will take care of this thing in another tutorial, but right now, let's just see if this works. Submit. And it worked. It worked. It created the case. So it created the case. Where's Appa? I cannot find my flying bison. Of course, I created it. And here are the fields that we provided it with. Yeah, all our information is there. So that concludes this tutorial of how to create a visual force page using a standard controller. There's a lot more you can do. You could definitely make this a lot cleaner, but since we're short on time, I just wanted to run through the basics with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and subscribe for more. I will definitely post more cleaner code and tutorials along the way, but have sympathy for me. This is my first video. Anywho, thanks for watching, and yeah, see you next time.